Welcome to day 319 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian, and we have two very special guests with us today. They are new to DeSo, Matreshka and ReadyPlayerOne. They just signed up yesterday. How's it going, guys?
Thanks for onboarding us.
Guys,
really
it's
made us
such an
feel
amazing platform. I received a diamond yesterday instead of like, and it's like 1 cent.
It's
I know,
actually
it feels
less
good,
than
doesn't it?
It does.
What's this founder reward thing?
Not sure yet, but they told me not to do anything about it yet.
Whatever you do, don't lower your founder reward until you know what you're doing.
In
Never
like
sell your own coin.
in like 10 years, people are gonna watch this video and be like, "Oh, I didn't know Matreshka and ReadyPlayerOne signed up 319 days in. Huh, that's interesting."
Luca,
Yeah,
what
so-
is your DeSo birthday?
March 23rd. I don't know how many
Yeah,
days.
and mine March 27. We're like 4 days apart.
I think
Yeah.
we're the
I
same
think
as
we're
Luca.
in there.
I'm pretty sure we're the same as Luca, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah. I think so. Within a day.
So we're
So,
triplets then.
Yeah.
so in case you're not familiar with DeSo, Matreshka and Luca, ReadyPlayerOne, are not new to DeSo. They've been on for 323 days or so. So they're OGs, if you know what the term OG means. And they also have a video show that they're doing that's competing with us. So they're kind of our competitors. So that's why we're going to be leading this show today. We're going to not let them get control of it at all.
I have a whole list of things that I dug up from their backgrounds that I'm gonna read off here.
All right, let's get it out. Let's entertain people.
Matreshka
kidding.
once went around trying to get men to sign their chest or let her sign their chest.
Yes,
That's the
it's
worst
called-
thing we could find.
Yes, this is called Matreshka NFT project, and you can participate in that if you're watching. Just write the name Matreshka on the chest and send me the picture, and you will be part of the NFT project.
And Luca, he is a copyright infringing DeSo user. He uses a name from a movie as his username. Who does that?
Who does that? That was better than my first username, which was Pringles, which is probably copyright infringement too, and a little bit
Yes,
sillier.
They
Yeah,
probably
it
have
is.
more money to sue you with, so this is probably a better decision.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes in the future once everybody's on DeSo.
All right, so let's get to some news. Brian, what happened with DeSo Messenger yesterday?
Yeah, so as you've known, DeSo Messenger was set to roll out a series of updates after launching early last week. And they finally got around to group chats. And I know this was like probably one of the biggest features that they've been promising. It's up, it's running. To compose a group chat, all you do is click the compose icon. Then you just type in the names you want to add to the group. That's it. Group chats are off chain right now. So they're still testing things out. They want to be able to iterate really quickly. So they've kept things off chain, but it's going to move on chain eventually. And they recommend that you reset your catch by hitting Shift Command R, just so that it updates and you get those group chat features. Really cool. I think there's going to be a lot of great ways to utilize group chats, and DeSo Messenger is clearly leading the way. And next will be the mobile apps.
Yeah, I don't know if having the actual chat on chain is really that big of a deal. It is encrypted, so it's protected, but I don't know if that's what people really care about, is that their group chats or their chats are on chain or not. I think what they want is the ability to find somebody on DeSo. Like if I know Matreshka by her username, Matreshka on DeSo, I can just send a message directly to her on DeSo because I know her username. I think that's the important part. So like if you want to start a group chat and like all these people on DeSo, whereas if you're on Telegram, different people have different usernames on different apps. Like if I want to find Luca on Telegram, maybe he's ReadyPlayerOne, maybe not. Maybe Matreshka's Matreshka, maybe not.
Well, here's an example. This morning, we had to invite Luca and Matreshka to this Zoom call. And I went to invite them and I'm like, I have Luca's Telegram, but I don't have Matreshka. So I asked Ed, hey, can you invite Matreshka? So like that was an example. If we had DeSo Messenger group chats and we were using that, which we do now, I should have just sent them both messages that way.
Yeah, so have you guys checked out DeSo Messenger yet?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have checked it one of the first day when they released it before it was the group chats. I know you mentioned yesterday that they have the group chat, so I'm going to use this feature to send out an invitation to the thought leaders of the platform, because that's one of the things that we're planning to do in different Entre and Video Hub, to use more the apps that we have on chain already to have our meetings.
Luca?
Yeah, I haven't used the group chat feature yet, but I've used it. I've sent pictures with it, and it was a pretty smooth experience. I think I tend to agree with you that being on chain isn't necessarily as imperative or important. I mean, I think they should still be encrypted, so it's secure communications. But if they do, like, I mean, it sounds like they are going the on-chain route, but if they do, or another messaging app besides the off-chain messaging is more important, then just they should be upfront with that with the users and make sure they know whether their content's going on chain or not, just so people know.
Yeah,
And so,
But I think for a lot of people,
and so Brutal doesn't get terribly mad at you.
we don't want to upset Brutal. Brutal is the king of DeSo.
Yeah, you know, like I think it's a moot point because they are going on chain, but in my mind, the messages don't actually have to be on chain as long as the usernames are, and you can easily find the user you want to message because it's all connected to the DeSo blockchain and the usernames are connected to DeSo blockchain. So I don't really care if the messages are on chain or off chain, as long as, like you said, Luca, that they're encrypted. But also yesterday, there was a really interesting story about NFTs to space. And I know, Matreshka, you're really into this NFTs to space and you're helping Chase Steely out significantly. Brian, do you want to talk about what Ava from Clara Mouse did?
Yeah, so Ava is actually a 12-year-old girl. She is producing this NFT series on DeSo called Clara Mouse. And I think they minted about 145 different NFTs so far. And they're these really cool mice in doing all different things. And she's doing it to raise money so that she can write a book about Clara Mouse. And she's been selling out. Like, I think they're 0.1 DeSo each, and she sold out all of them so far. I know we own a few, but yesterday she was on her local newspaper. They interviewed her about what she's doing because one of her Clara mice are going to space thanks to NFTs to space, which Chase Steely's been heading up. Matreshka's been highly involved in. And I just think it's an awesome idea, sending NFTs to space, and a 12-year-old who has an extremely successful NFT series on this new blockchain is doing it. I mean, like, that's crazy. She's like so ahead of her time. So yeah, I know that you're a big fan of Clara, Matreshka, and I know you have a lot to do with NFTs to space. So I don't know, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I actually got to meet her in Chaimin the other day when she was doing a drop of Clara Mouse, which was absolutely fantastic, because it's one thing to just, see her NFT and knowing that it comes from a child, although very mature child, but it's another thing to actually meet and chat with her. And she was so very nice and so sweet. I got quite a few of your Clara Mouse as well. I got the Russian one and a few others because she was doing a series. That's
Nice.
Clara Mouse on the beach,
Man,
because
I
she was
need
doing a
that one.
series of international dancers, which I absolutely loved. And it's super exciting that with NFTs to space, we're able to send the art of very, very young people into space. And I think it's amazing living in a time where it is possible. And I'm really, really excited to be part of that. And Chase actually gave me the title of Space Empress, so you can start address me by that now. And yeah, I'm very happy being involved in that. I'm also sending my NFTs and just getting the artists from all over the world to participate in that. And as you know, we talked already to National Geographic, and if it goes well, then hopefully we'll have an article there that would cover NFTs to space and as well DeSo, but in a subtle way, not front in your face for people who have no idea what blockchain is. So yeah, very, very happy being part of that. And it's just extremely exciting sending your art into space. That's like super, super amazing.
Yeah, this has to be so exciting for Ava, and NFTs to Space has a new website now too. It's nfts2space.com. I think they're still working on it. Luca, did you have a chance to grab any of Clara Mouse?
Yeah, we got since pretty early on when Nathan first introduced his daughter to the platform and said she's going to be dropping art. I was pretty excited about that. Just I'm a former educator. Like I was a third grade teacher. I worked with kids in a lot of different capacities. So anytime I see kids, you know, expressing their creativity and getting their time to shine, you know, I'm always down to support that. So yeah, very happy to be a collector of Clara Mouse. And I think, yeah, but for that same reason, like it's exciting to see young people test out the technology because they don't have a lot of I don't know, like they don't really care about coin price and all that stuff and like all the stuff that people are fudding about. They're just like, oh, this is cool. I can post my art and it's really easy to sell. But I think, you know, there doesn't have to be anything more complicated than that. And that's really exciting to see. And then Matreshka, I was gonna ask, is Space Empress, does that supersede Brutal's King of DeSo title, or where does that rank?
I would think that it does, but I
Oh,
also,
okay.
of course, don't want to upset Brutal. So
We
if he
got to check
feels-
with Brutal first.
Yeah,
Don't,
yeah,
don't
so
make
if he
any official
feels that
statements.
No, wait a minute.
that
Wait, stop. So Brutal's a king of a blockchain. You're the queen, you're the empress of
Of
space.
space.
That's like,
Yeah.
doesn't get any bigger than space. So I think you supersede Brutal. And if
We'll
Brutal
find
wants
out
to
in the
fight me
comments
for it,
later today.
I'll defend you, Matreshka, don't worry.
Yeah.
The Space Empress will not forget.
So also yesterday, DeSo No Code's Tony Lewis unveiled that he's going to unveil tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern time on YouTube, a new feature that they're going to have in their apps. It's going to be called social topic pages. And essentially what this is going to do is going to allow users to create pages about certain topics, whether it be the Spanish soccer news or the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys, by the way. Golden retrievers or anything else that really matters. You know, it could be about computer monitors, or it could be about space empresses.
I thought you were saying you hate the Dallas Cowboys and golden retrievers. Like you hate golden retrievers.
No, I like golden retrievers.
Okay.
I didn't mean that. I just hate the Dallas Cowboys.
But that's, yeah, like different topics.
Yeah, so it's going to allow them to aggregate these different topics and create their own apps around certain topics, their own websites around certain topics. It's going to be available to anyone who uses DeSo No Code Institute's plugins / templates that are run on Bubble, and it should be released later this year. I think it's a really good idea. I think that's ultimately the direction DeSo needs to go in, because we want to have these sub communities within the larger community. What does everybody else think?
Yeah, so social topic pages, that it's definitely important. I think that in order to generate conversation, people like feeling like they're in a group of people that want to talk about the same thing. So like on DeSo, yeah, just posting on DeSo is great. Your followers see it. But what if you want to just discuss golden retrievers or the Dallas Cowboys? You know, you can go here and everybody wants to talk about golden retrievers or the Dallas Cowboys, or the golden retrievers that are owned by the Dallas Cowboys. So I think that it's just a great way
That
to
doesn't
kind
make
of get
sense.
people together.
That really doesn't make sense.
Was it a joke? You're supposed to laugh. Nobody laughed. Matreshka's laughing a little bit.
Still processing.
And yes, I agree that it would be great to have communities, because like even Lisa Marietta was bringing it up a while ago. You know, she brought her sister, who is a UI designer, on the platform. And the first question the sister asked was, where is the UI designers group where I can find them and interact with them? And the answer was, we don't have one, because we have 2 UI designers, Charlie and Clay Oglesby, but that's like there is no way for people right now to connect on certain topics. You can use search words and use Search Cloud or Open Prosper to look for the keywords, but it's not the same as having a community. And I know that Hive is already doing that, and it's very cool to have a community where you can talk about aliens. That's one of the communities Kitty4D shares with me, because she also shares our NFTs to space on other platforms. And it's really cool to have this certain topic that you can discuss this. So that would be very exciting.
I think it'd be
able.
cool if you could have tags, like tags that don't necessarily show in posts, but you can tag them so that when these other, subgroups start popping up, they can fetch posts based on tags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would help. Yeah, if it was like in the extra data or something, help, and then
Yeah.
node runners could just pull. Yeah, that'd be really cool. And even very well established social networks like Twitter, they're rolling out features like this even now. Like, I don't know if you've seen the new communities tab and communities feature, where essentially you get fed all the, or people can post to this community where it's on
Yeah.
a certain topic. And I envision this being something similar to that, where if you want to congregate around a certain topic, you just either post to that profile page or you tag that profile page, or some way of congregating that content.
Yeah,
around that
and
topic.
I think that like as we move forward, the new change from core where they allowed for threading, I think we're going to see a lot of standalone nodes that might kind of mimic like a Reddit type thing. So I'm looking forward to that, and maybe something like that could be integrated as well into other nodes. What DeSo no code is doing, I love that, because you're gonna see a bunch of apps coming out that are going to use these social groups. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so Postgres was fixed last night, finally. Thanks to Natter and Lazy Nina.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, where is your
Okay.
I gotta get my thing.
thing to celebrate?
my
I
goggles
only
on.
have this, so I'm gonna celebrate with this.
Ed has to wear his goggles. Oh man, we're
Are you
all
doing
we're
it
all
or not?
celebrating. Postgres. Thanks, Natter.
Yes, thank Lazy Nina.
So
Like a
yeah,
party
so
in here.
there are bugs that they didn't catch and they thought they had it fixed, and there's another bug and they thought they had it fixed again and there's another bug. But last night it was finally fixed. Thanks again to Natter and Lazy Nina, but also to Tyne, Stargazer, and M. Van Halen. Postgres now works, so all the nodes can now be synced up if they were using Postgres prior to the fork. NFTs back in sync now as of about 6 a.m. Eastern time this morning. So we're excited about that. But yeah,
We finally got working on version 2.0, which was supposed to be rolled out this week, but Postgres pushed things back a little bit. But it should be coming soon, probably within the next week or week and a half or so.
Yep.
Any teasers?
So DeSocial World, they've added Chinese to their test site, which means that it's coming soon to the DeSocial World node. I think it's important to keep in mind that there's 1.3 billion Chinese speaking people in the world. So that's 1.3 billion people who could come on and understand what the heck the website says that they're posting on. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, every time we see new languages, it just adds to the potential user base of DeSo. So Ado is doing an amazing job. He's constantly working. He's constantly reaching out to other nodes to implement features or to work together. And this is big. It's obviously the Chinese language, huge populace of Chinese speaking people on this planet.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, ni hao, and welcome to the platform.
There you
know a
go.
little Chinese.
So we got Luca, who speaks French, and Matreshka, who speaks Russian. Do you guys use DeSocial World?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Really love what Edo and the team have built there, and the way they integrate with different projects and apps too is really cool.
Yeah, they actually integrated with Vibe Hut a couple days ago, and I think right now they're holding a Vibe Hut room. It's a DeSocial World community call, so you're probably missing it if you're watching this show, or at least we're missing it from filming this show. But also we got some huge news from Entre yesterday. They held a room last night at around 7 p.m. Eastern time, and they're rebranding. Michael Myra was there and some of his team, and there are over 30 people in the room at certain times listening to them talk about their rebrand. They're rebranding to DeWork. So it's no longer going to be joinentre.com. It's no longer going to be Entre. It's going to be DeWork, DEWORK. So this is exciting. And with the rebrand, there's going to be a lot of additional features coming. I want to thank Michelle Lord and Izzy for giving me some of this update, because I walked into that room last night with only 26 minutes left to go, so I missed a lot of it. But Michelle made a long post, and Izzy updated me over Telegram. So they're working to get the DeWork.com domain name. They probably won't have that yet, so they're going to probably launch on a different domain name, and the new URL is going to be ready to test next week. They're going to allow people on Entre and people within the DeSo community to test it out. They're going to have scheduled posts coming. It's going to be a whole new UI update with dark mode. There's going to be group chats, private community rooms, and also just public community rooms. They're going to have communities, so you're going to be group yourselves into communities. You're going to be sort by interests. There's going to be Slack-like functionality built in. And for the video chats that a lot of us are familiar with, they're going to allow up to 25 people on the stage. And then for just audio chat without the video, they're going to allow 250 people on the stage, I believe. You were there last night, Matreshka. Were you there, Luca?
Yeah.
Not yesterday's meeting, but I've been to another one that Michael's hosted. And yeah,
Did I miss anything, Matreshka?
You missed one of the Degens part. Like they also talked about, the people in the chat talked, and then Michael said he loved this idea about creating D-Date, which would be the place where you can find your future D-hubby or D-wifey and create some D-babies. So that's just some degenerate information for you to laugh at in the morning. But other than that, I absolutely love what they're doing. And just the structure, how they did the town hall, and the transparency, and Michael just reading the questions and commenting on them and answering them right away. I really, really loved it. And it's much more visual. So for people who are more visual, and people who are watching the show probably are, it's a great way how you can do it. And I absolutely love Entre. And I love that they're rebranding, because I'm actually was not a big fan of the end with the arrow, but it was just what it was. So I'm glad that they're rebranding. I like their little butterfly symbol that they came up with much better.
Yeah, I think that Entre, now DeWork, I think they're a great example of what the future of DeSo is going to be. I think right now everybody thinks DeSo and thinks DeSo nodes, and they see a node like Diamond App, or they see one like Nacho Average, or any of these nodes that are running almost entirely based on the blockchain. But there's going to be these hybrid websites like Entre/DeWork, where part of the database is taken from the blockchain and another part is just native to their own website and can be run locally, and it can be centralized. And I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see a lot of applications come about which are going to take partial pieces of the blockchain, integrate them, and then have their own database for other features. And that's what's going to differentiate a lot of these nodes. If everything was just based off the blockchain, you're going to have a lot of the same nodes doing the same type of things. But when you add data and data lines to your front end, you're going to have all these other opportunities and be able to do things that others might not be able to do. So I think this is a great example of what's to come.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to touch on some community events before we get to talk to Luca and Matreshka. 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's an hour ago. It might be over with by now. Vibe Hut. There's DeSocial World community calls on that. 10 a.m. Eastern time on Chime In. Darian Parrish is holding a crypto talks room. He's been doing this every week, and they're awesome to go talk about crypto. So definitely check that out. And 12 p.m. Eastern time on Clubhouse, IT Clubhouse voiceover, Decibel, DeSo. It's a Russian language room with Siva, and Andrew MV, Zolfi, Simak Ilya. So definitely check those out. And at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Vibe Hut, it's Vibe Hut Happy Hour. So it's a great time to check out Vibe Hut. Just go to vibehut.io. Have you guys used Vibe Hut much?
I did, even back in the day when I think it was called something else back in the day. I couldn't even remember right now. But yeah, I absolutely loved it, because it's this thing that basically allows you to build community. You meet people face to face and you get to know them. And when we are just on the blockchain, I think it's really important to get to know the people behind and to meet them. And I absolutely love doing that. So that's why every once in a while I'll jump in during the happy hour and chat with people. And there are a few people who, they're also most of the time, like Darian Parrish is there a lot, and Dolinsky, of course, as well, and a few other people. But yeah, it's a very nice place where you can meet other creators from the platform.
Yeah, so let's talk about what you guys are doing. You started these videos. Obviously, you've both been here for almost a year now. What's it like being DeSo OGs, and what made you guys come together to create these new videos that you're going to start doing?
Look, you want to start answering? How does it feel to be an OG?
Still very exciting. Every day feels like still, even after 10 plus months, like there's something new around the corner basically every day. Definitely question my sanity sometimes, like, oh, should I have invested so much of my time into this blockchain? But I think the answer to that is the community. Like building this community is kind of, it's hard to avoid. You know, like it's almost not addicting, but you kind of don't want to step away because there's so much happening. There's so many people to get to know and bond with. I think we all share that feeling.
Yeah. Like one thing, like I get asked that a lot. Like, you're spending so much time on DeSo. What if DeSo didn't work out? And that there's a chance it might not, right? Like my response is always, yeah, but like I've made so many incredible connections and I've learned so much about blockchain technology that even if DeSo was to disappear tomorrow, none of that time would be wasted. I would feel like it was valuable time that I spent wisely still.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, and as for like how the show came together, it has been months in the making because originally I was planning to do it with Chad Belong, and then first actually with Dennis, and then with Chad, and then it was just so hard to set up because we wanted to do it like really nice with like AdLift Cloud helping us behind the scenes to like do how he does on Twitch with like music in the background, you know, things that you can put on the screen and all of that. But getting more than 2 people together on blockchain can be really challenging. So like after months of like trying to do it and then never finding really time to be able to do it, I started first just doing it for Fast Freddy competition when he wanted, you know, to have more content out there on DeSo. And then Luca graciously agreed to become my host, and I absolutely love it because it's very easy to work with him, and being on the platform and like in the same about similar amount of time, we, you know a lot of things that are like we all actually went through and we met in person, and it's just been really, really cool working with him. So thank you, Luca. And if you're
Yeah,
watching that and you think that Luca should continue to spend so many hours on the platform and you value him, definitely let him know about this and send him some diamond, pump his back.
definitely. Yeah, like that's something Ed and I thought about, is like, should we have like a green screen behind us and have like all kinds of features and music and intros? And ultimately what we decided, if we're going to do this every day, it's best to keep it simple. So if we are traveling, we don't have to worry about having an editor come in and do something. And it provides the same amount of information. And I think that's the most important thing. We're not like trying to be like Hollywood entertainers. We're just trying to provide information. I think you guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely there's so many ways that you could trip yourself up to not actually making the content. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's got to be perfect. Oh, the content's got to be, no, like the real answer is just start recording, press record, and start talking. You know, get your content out there, get the discussion out there.
Every one of those steps, like having to have somebody edit it or having to make sure the sound quality is perfect, they're all going to be steps that are going to trip you up, like you said, and make you say, oh, do I have to do this again tomorrow? Like, we love doing these videos, and it's just because we go to Zoom, record it, and then upload it. That's all we had to do.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and when I was, like I said, trying to like set it up nicely, it took months, and it still didn't happen. So the easy and the simple way seems to be like the way to go.
Well, we did invest some money into the project though. We did buy these $10 lapel mics, and I got a donut light so that there's actually light on my face. It used to be like light was coming in from one side, so I had like half the dark face.
That's what.
Yeah.
And,
I
you can
mean,
see
like,
mine over my head in the reflection up there.
Yeah, we have the same one. And I mean, my background with these weird shadows behind me, I can make like hand puppets behind me. Isn't exactly professional, but it gets the job done.
Yeah. And that's what we want at the end of the day, to have the job done and for people to have access to this content, even if, maybe the lighting is not perfect.
So who are some I guess guests that you have planned that you think you'd want that you're going to have on the show, so you can kind of tease us so we're anticipating the next Matreshka and Luca show? What's it actually called? I forget.
DeSo in the eyes of beholders.
Good name. That's a good name. It's better than the Krasenstein show. I give you props for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Matreshka gets full credit for that. The name and all that was already set in stone when I came on board, and I really like the name too.
So are there some special guests you want to have on?
Yeah, sure. So one of our previous videos we did was kind of a breakdown of the major Discord servers that are part of the DeSo ecosystem. One of them obviously being ChainSurf, but we want to do a longer breakdown of ChainSurf and how it works, and maybe show people like the trackers and all that. Because it is a really interesting, useful tool that I feel like most power users on DeSo are using every day. And along with that, we want to get Kira in for an interview. I don't think we're gonna be able to get him on video, but we're gonna at least hopefully audio, but if not, get written responses and share that with the community, because I think it'd be really cool for people to know more about him. I think he's a pretty young guy as well.
He actually commented on the post where we mentioned that he is very young and said, "I'm actually not that young anymore."
Oh,
So
I'll stop saying
not
that
young he is,
then.
but yes, that's what he let us know. And yes, and also we're going to have Meredith Marson, who is doing the Metazans, and she was morphing Metazans. And yesterday, actually, Riley Beans has tagged a couple of people, and she was like, "There is a first transgender Metazan." So they morphed two male Metazans, and they created a transgender Metazan, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm so happy for those of us, for those people who are LGBTQ plus community, and for future people joining, because it's the first thing that has been done as far as I know. So that's really exciting.
That is a cool idea. Yeah.
Yes. I actually had the idea of changing the gender of the people for NFTs, but because I took so long to actually start releasing my generative nesting dolls, because I'm taking part in other amazing projects that are incredible for DeSo, and I want to bring more value to DeSo. But I'm very excited that other people coming up with similar ideas. I just love meeting people, similar geniuses. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, so I mean, so far I've watched your shows and they're awesome. I think what you're doing is great, and I look forward to them. I look forward to each episode you release. I mean, it can't be as good as our show, but it's you try your hardest.
You told me that the name is better already, and then you were thinking of firing Brian and hiring me instead of him. So I don't know.
Hey, Matreshka, Matreshka, I'll come to your show, Luca. Matreshka, don't tell Ed though, okay?
So you have this fancy name, but our name's still in the beta testing stage. We haven't really come up with an official name yet. It's just referred to as a Krasenstein show.
It's going to be the name of our extravaganza.
When we do come up with one, it's going to blow the name of your show out of the water.
All right, I will be there to watch that and applaud you when it happens.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any closing thoughts? Any closing message before we close out the show?
So I actually do have a small announcement for NEDA, kind of like from the community. So the support structure for the developer community is much more developed than the support structure for creator community right now on DeSo. So as a result, the creator community has been declining, and it would be wonderful to have somebody who is experienced in community building join the team and have built the communities on DeSo.
Yeah, I love that idea, and I agree, and I think they're concentrating on the developer community because they feel that having the apps and having the ecosystem will eventually attract people and retain them. But I do agree that there's so many OGs here that have been putting in so much work, you guys included. I think some way of not only just getting the community together, but rewarding those people, I think would be great. I don't know what the best way to do it is. I don't have all the answers, and I can understand it being difficult. They don't want to say, hey, we're gonna give some DeSo this person, because then somebody else feels left out. So it's a tricky one, but I think there are ways to do it. And I think getting some community manager together would be pretty.
Yeah.
pretty
There's
good
an
idea.
airplane flying by right now. Hold on a second. Wait, can you see what you can't see what it said? Oh, can you see what it says?
Hi, I'm Matreshka.
Oh, it's flying by.
Well, you
That
know
was
what? I mean, I
weird,
would be
huh?
more than
Weird.
you know, you already know, like everybody on DeSo know that I would be more than happy to be like DeSo's community manager in any shape, type, or form. But even if it's not me, like if you think that I'm not good for that job for any reason, then hire somebody else. Like that's the thing. Like we need to have somebody who will be helping developing that part, because although yes, it is very important to continue to develop and acquire more developers so that we can build that killer app. But if in the process we like, God forbid, we'll lose all the creators, then for developers, it would be like, who are they going to build for? Who is going to test it? Who is going to use it? And, you know, we want it to succeed. We want DeSo to succeed. We love DeSo so very much. That's why we're spending all that crazy amount of hours just, you know, being here and trying to bring value any way we can try to think of. And we I would really like to see DeSo succeed, because I also see other companies hiring a lot of people out of DeSo and people going and working for them, although those are the people who can also bring tremendous value to DeSo. And I would like to be able to, you know, use those people. I mean, use is a bad word, but like to have those people contribute to DeSo, because they already know everything and they have been here so long. They know the entire ecosystem, and you know, it's just would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
My
no, I
opinion.
agree. I wonder if that was Tiny Elf flying that airplane, because I've never seen that before, a little airplane fly by during our recordings.
No, they
Weird.
fly by all day long.
Yeah. All right, well,
All right. Well, I
thanks,
think
guys.
that's a good place to wrap up. And if you haven't checked out, what's the name of your show again?
DeSo in the eyes of behodlers. And if
DeSo in
you
the
just
Eyes
go,
of Behodlers. Definitely check it out. It's a B-list show, and you'll love it.
it's the best B show that you will ever see. And B stands for blockchain. So this is the best blockchain show. Thank
Good
you,
Good
comeback.
everybody.
That was a
good
good
comeback.
comeback. I give you
That's a
credit for
good
that.
comeback.
I'm learning from the best.
All right. Talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having us.